Hello, UFL fans, spring football fans. Well, week 4 is already in the books, and I'll give you my personal team rankings from 8 to 1. Number 8, of course, the winless Arlington Renegades, the defending XFL champs, if you can believe this. Number 7, the Houston Roughnecks at 1-3. Number 6, the Memphis Showboats. Number 5, the Michigan Panthers. Number 4, the DC Defenders. Number 3, the San Antonio Brahmas. St. Louis comes in at number 2. And then finally, of course, the best team in the league, the Birmingham Stallions. Now, coming up this week, week 5, we're going to have another thing of regional action. Both the Saturday games will be primetime games on the Fox networks. Will also be heard on Sirius XM on Fox Sports, the simulcast. And both are 7 p.m. games Eastern Time. And here they are. San Antonio will go into Arlington to face the winless Renegades. And then we have the Birmingham Stallions going into Houston to take on the Roughnecks, who got a bit of a uplift yesterday with their first win. And of course, on Sunday, to me, the game of the week, the St. Louis Battlehawks against the DC Defenders. That game will be at Audi Field, a noon game. That will be at ESPN. Also on Sirius XM on the simulcast. And right after that game, 3 p.m., the Michigan Panthers and the Memphis Showboats at Liberty Stadium. That will be also on Fox and Fox Sports on Sirius XM. All right, so let's get to the observations of the week. All right, the same one I've had for pretty much the first 3 weeks. Birmingham Stallions are still by far the best team. Although they were sloppy against my awesome DC Defenders, who couldn't take advantage of the mistakes. The Birmingham still managed to win as a sign of a championship team and a very good team when you don't give your best and you can still win. 2, I ain't gonna lie. With the Arlington Renegades being 0-4, this is not good for the league. The Arlington Renegades last year averaged 12,000 fans plus a game. It was always 12-2, 12-5, 12-6. All 5 home games were the same. Last game, it wasn't very encouraging. And this week, with the Brahmas coming to town, you'll wonder how many people will be in the stands. Now, it will be a night game. The weather does look pretty good from here. The question is, can enough San Antonio fans come over to make that stadium look respectable? I don't know. And on the subject of the Arlington Renegades being 0-4 in the defending XFL champions, I am sick to my stomach that my Defenders lost to this team last year in the championship game. Now, I know the old phrase, on every given day, one team can be another. I know healthy and hot at the right time can get you very far. But man, as the Defenders fan, watching how this team is playing this year, yes, I will say their record, they're a better team than their record still indicates. I am sick to my stomach we lost to this team. Sorry, I may like a bitter Defenders fan. Guess what? I am, because they're 0-4. I think you would be also. No observation. Well, this week the regional action happened to work out good for the football fan because of the hour and 37-minute rain delay in Birmingham between the Stallions and the Defenders. We were able to see the Brahmas and the Panthers, which wasn't a bad game. All the games this week were pretty solid. I still think the game of the weekend was DC and Birmingham. But on the flip side, because of that, I was not able to see the ending of that DC game because I had it on DVR. So I had to watch the results on YouTube. The game was continuing on FS1. From what I believe. So, and because my DVR was programmed for Fox, I had to set up for highlights. But hey, it's like that sometimes. So, in one hand, the regional action helped, but if you're a DC fan or a Birmingham fan, if you weren't watching it and paying attention, you were recording the game, then you kind of lost out. Hey, listen, it is what it is. We'll see. Let's see. Tomorrow the TV ratings come out, and I'm not really hopeful about them because one, that rain delay game is really going to put a damper on things. Even though it was a good game, even though it was a main network and it was a good time slot, rain delay killed it. Second of all, we also had a game on Fox Sports 1. That was a Sunday game between winless Houston and winless Arlington. So I'm not expecting the Rays to be that great this week. 4. The attendance continues to be top heavy. The Battlehawks, once again, what was it, about 32,000 plus, were awesome. San Antonio did bring in about 11,000 plus. Not bad, but I'm going to put it out there. San Antonio has been disappointing. I thought they would do better, but they could be the victim of they get tired of getting screwed by spring football. They might have just said, heck, it's only a matter of time before this league folds also. Who knows what they're thinking. But the Commanders, who had by far less marketing, less TV production, had much better numbers. Sorry, I have to be honest. The numbers don't lie. Those people constantly drew over 20,000 a game, and I think at one of the games they actually had over 30,000 a game. You got to put it out there, folks. You got to be honest. And I think next year, which is my 5th observation, we need to start right after the Super Bowl. There's nothing going on in February after the Super Bowl is done. It is a dead month for sports unless you are a diehard college basketball fan or NBA or hockey fan, and the ratings on the national networks would say they're not. We need to take advantage of February to build momentum. So when March Madness does come in the middle of next month, we have the momentum. All right, another observation. The Memphis Showboats continue to be by far the most disappointing team. I am very disappointed in this team. I really thought it was going to be Birmingham and Memphis in the USFL championship game. It still could be because the Panthers lost and they're tied with the Roughnecks, so they're in it, which is good for the league. Good for them. But man, I thought maybe I overrated them. I don't know. But they are disappointing. No observation how the Michigan Panthers were disappointing in the game against San Antonio. Now, if you look at the stats of that game, you would think the opposite, but the Panthers could never seem to get it going in second gear. E.J. Perry is left the game with a hamstring. Who knows what his status is this week? But the Panthers were the most disappointing game of the team of the weekend. I picked them to beat San Antonio. Not against San Antonio. San Antonio's got a good team. Wade Phillips has made a big difference. But I like the Panthers. Maybe I will rate them just a little bit. I don't know. But next week, the Panthers are playing the Showboats. That's going to be a very big game. In fact, if you look at it, all these games from here on in are very big games. Another observation, the field goal kickers continue to impress. I think we've only had one missed field goal the whole year. Listen, not even the NFL can brag about that. Or the CFL. I'm sorry. The kicking game has been absolutely awesome. What else? Observations. I think that's about it. I mean, it was a good weekend of football. It was a solid weekend of football. And you have to be happy with the games have been pretty much competitive. There had not been any blowouts. Now, the rain delay did hurt us. What are you going to do? You can't control Mother Nature. Anyway, let me know what you think at the bottom. What's your opinion? Like to know? Like and subscribe to the channel. We'll be back tomorrow with any significant news around the league, injury reports, and of course the TV ratings I'm looking forward to. Seeing how the regional action and the FS1 and the rain delay affected it. I'm bracing for impact. It is what it is. And, oh yeah, here's another observation. The USFL attendance continues to suck. Now listen, I know you see me wear the XFL hat, but if you know me, I rooted for both these leagues last year, the year before that. I'm a big fan of both these leagues. But right now I realize Rice Stadium is not the greatest stadium in the world, but I can tell you what, it's not the worst stadium in the world. It's still a lot better than Cashman Stadium was last year. But they're not playing well. On top of that, Memphis has been disappointing in their attendance. They had a good showing last year. This year, they've been nothing but disappointing. Birmingham continues to be solid. They are the one solid team there. Their fans are hungry for it. They keep getting screwed with bad weather. And of course, the final team in that division, the Panthers, they play in the Dome Stadium. Listen, the Red Wings are not in the playoffs. The Detroit Pistons are not in the playoffs. And baseball is just beginning. And you're coming off a good season with the Wolverines and the Lions. Why not go support this team? It's indoors where there's not an issue. I don't get that. Meanwhile, the XFL teams, the Defenders, the Battlehawks, continue to be solid. San Antonio continues to be decent, and Arlington seems to be falling. So, there you go. Week 5 is upon us already. Everyone, let me know what you think. We'll talk to you later. And, hey, for the love of football, go UFL.